doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? So happy to see you guys. My mic is like peaking. It's saying quiet down. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another DDLive number 122, I think. 122. And man, I missed you guys. I was on call last week. That's why I didn't go live last week. But that's okay because there wasn't too much great news last week. At least I don't remember. I'm probably wrong, but I don't think so. That song's badass, isn't it? Oh, man. How are you guys doing? Gee, why is my mic... Do I sound like... Am I like blowing out your speakers, guys? Because it's looking like my... my typecast modulator. I don't know what to call it. What do you... Seismograph. It's peaking. Should I back it up a little bit? Maybe I'll back it up a little bit. You tell me, okay? You have the power. You have the power. I have the power. Man, I used to love He-Man. What was your favorite childhood TV show? You get home from school, and what's the first TV show you would throw it on? You know? What was it? Let me know. For me, it was He-Man. I used to watch He-Man when I was a kid all the time. Before I went to school, I would watch Little Rascals. No, I'm really dating myself. And Three Stooges, you know? And then certainly. And then when I'd get home from school, I'd watch ABC After School Specials. And Beth says Muppet Babies. Let me say everybody back up. Everybody back up. Let me say hello to everybody. Adrian, James, how are you doing? Amber Hill, Ian Lives, Kevin Munn's got a birthday in a couple days. Everybody say happy birthday, early birthday, Kevin Munn, Nicholas Vincent, Not JPEG, Amber Hill, Wilson Gill, New Jersey, Damo, Polly, Beth, I saw you in there. Jason, how you doing, brother? Gory Tiger, Chris Snyder. I got to slow down. That's what I got to do. Jason from who's that guy? Who's Jason from Sinister Cinema Reviews? Does he review everything? The discourse over Alien Romulus has been ridiculous. It has become the Halloween ends of 2020. I wouldn't say that. Everybody back up just a little bit, okay? We're not talking Halloween. Nobody's freaking giving death threats, okay? It's not that bad. So much anger towards people who enjoyed it. Now, that annoys the shit out of me. The comments on my channel have been wild. You know, I will say... Yeah, I mean, my comments, I'm getting tons of people that don't like the movie. But I haven't seen... Now, it's early in the game, you know. In a couple of weeks, months, then we'll start seeing the really ugly people come out. I do have a funny about that, too, by the way. So, I guess time will tell. I haven't seen anybody cross the line yet. Jason, you might have. If you have, please share with me. I love a good troll comment. I got a couple troll comments in the funnies. Man. I guess first off, thank you. A big thank you for 60K. It came a lot quicker than I thought. Just in the given, because I was like sitting at 59.4, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? This is how brutal the YouTube game's been to me lately, all right? I was lucky. There was a time period there where I was lucky if I got 100 subscribers a month. And I was like, am I doing something wrong? Because the weird thing was too, I was getting normal views. I was getting my average views. Not like this last week, of course, but let's just say I was getting anywhere from 3 to 5,000, sometimes 10 if it was a new release. But I wasn't getting any subscribers. And I think there's a couple of theories on this. I think one of them is I don't have any of those what you would call viral videos. I think there are some channels, they have a video that busts 1 million, right? I haven't had that yet. And that one video, if it continues to get views constantly, then they can continue to get subscribers. I've seen it happen. So maybe that's why. And I think my bigger videos that have, like, I think I have one video that has 200K. And that's like a tutorial video on electronic drums. So that has nothing to do with my channel anyway. Jason says, it's because you are a positive channel. They don't get as many subscribers. Negative channels blow up because the internet loves to be negative. He's right. I'm not trying to say that, he's right. He is absolutely right. In this day and age, this current era, I'll say this right now. I subscribe to some of those. Now, I don't know if I subscribe, but, I'll see them in my, my homepage feed because they do dominate the algorithm. And, good on them. They figured out a way, but I just can't have, and this is just me. This would suck my soul. Like, if I had to do, like, let me tell you this. Just imagine if I had, let's say, 10 videos out. 10 videos out, okay? And of those 10 videos, I put my face on my thumbnails. Some people don't. Some people do, all right? Here's what I'm getting at, though. What if all 10 of those videos, my face was doing like this? Or, something like, down, or, just every video, you're just like, or if you don't show your face, you're just like destroyed, or, Kathleen Kennedy is dead, or just every video is just full on negativity. There's a market for that. And, I don't want to do that. I guess that's what I'm getting at. I don't want to do that. I like enjoying things. I like having balance, right? If a movie's bad, I'm going to call it bad. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have a whole category of, I call it hot relish, or I used to call it rips a new a-hole, and I like doing that. I do like if I'm upset about a movie. I like letting it be known that this movie did suck, and I like to give you the reasons why this movie sucked. But I still, making a movie, even the worst movie in the world, making a movie is super hard, and I don't discredit that aspect of it. It takes balls. I haven't done it. It takes balls to get up and freaking make a movie, to work 12, 14, 16 hours a day. And you know what? I think when you're on the inside of it, maybe you look at it from a different perspective. But I do think filmmakers, I don't think they want every reviewer to, be positive. I do think they want honesty. I really do. I think if you ask U-Bowl if he thought that movie he did was crap, he might say, yeah, I'm not proud of that movie. I don't think every director looks at their entire catalog and says, I made awesome movies. I'm so happy with these movies. These are great. It's a learning curve, right? It's like any other, it's like I do HVAC, right? And when I started out doing HVAC, I sucked. I wasn't that great at doing HVAC. And I started doing HVAC like 2 years ago. And now, I'm not an expert or anything, but I'm a lot better. I'm more proficient, and I'm comfortable doing it. It's the same thing with any job, right? And directing and making a movie, it's a job at the end of the day. I was watching some videos. I'm trying to remember what movie it was about. But it doesn't even matter what the movie is. What they're saying is basically that it's work. And an actor will take a job knowing that the movie is probably going to be bad, but it's work. And not necessarily even writing, but also acting, the whole gamut. Anybody they want to make the best movie they can, but sometimes you go into that project knowing this is going to suck. It's going to be, because I don't have this. I don't have I'm not there where I need to be. I'm a journeyman, right? So, but if you never dive into it and you never take that first step, then, what have you done, right? So I definitely acknowledge that. And I know I talked too long on that, but yeah, it's hard to get views and be positive. Let's just put it that way. It's harder, right? I think it's easier to get views and be overly negative. But I think even if you're overly negative, I still think you have to be able to speak to an audience. I still think, I'm not saying that those channels have the worst setup ever, that they can't speak to an audience. You still got to be able to do that. If you can't do that, then you could bitch all day and nobody's going to want to click, right? At the end of the day, you still got to be able to, but people like negativity. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm watching something on YouTube, and if there's something like a hot button issue and there's a negative video about it, and maybe the issue is only negative, there's no positive about it anyway, I'm probably going to want to click. I'm probably going to be curious. It's human nature. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Damn. Let me take a drink. Damn, I did not plan on starting off with a clip, but that's a clip, guys. We did what, 5 minutes there? Jesus. I blame you guys. I don't blame me. Trina, you're right, though. Negativity all the time does not feel authentic either. You are right. You're right. Again, you got to have balance. You got to have balance. And I think people, I look at some of those channels that I'm aware of and I roll my eyes because, okay, how many videos are you going to make about, Snow White? Yeah, that movie's probably going to suck. It looks horrible, but I don't need 10 videos about it, And the thing is, I don't blame those guys. The people that click on those videos over and over and over again, when you click on a video, just imagine this, guys, and you know exactly what that person's going to say. There's no mystery to the video whatsoever. And to me, I'll never understand that. Why? Like, to me, and I'll give you, I won't say the channel name, and this is in the music space. There was a channel in the music space. And they were literally doing the exact same strategy, I guess, with every video. Okay? And that strategy was, and it worked. It still works. That strategy was putting a title that was extremely negative. And then you click on the video and there's nothing negative whatsoever. That's a different strategy. There's nothing negative whatsoever in the video. Let's just say, I'll give you an example. And I'm not saying this was a video, but here's an example. Linkin Park, or just say Chester Bennington hates Papa Roach, right? That's just an example. That's not an exact title of a video. It's an example. Chester Bennington literally hates Papa Roach. Then you click on that video and there is nothing in there that states that Chester Bennington dislikes Papa Roach. Nothing at all. And so I click on it the first couple times. Then after I'm like, okay, I know what they're going to do. I'm not going to click on it anymore. Right? So there you go. Dan, what's up, man? How you doing? Everybody say hi, Skip. Say hi, Dan. Dan is, he lives here locally and we go to screenings together. It's cool. It's cool to see you in here, brother. Jesus. Hopefully you're catching some of this spicy talk that we're having. We're talking about negativity. But yeah, getting back to what I was saying, 60,000. Man, thank you guys so much. And I guess it's alien. I came up with this idea. I mean, it's not an idea. Everybody's doing it. But I thought, you know what? I want to try at this. I want to try to get more subscribers. I do. I want to try to do better, right? I always want to do better. So I thought, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. We got, what big properties do we got coming up? We got freaking Alien. We got The Crow. Maybe a couple others down the line. We just had Long Legs. So what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to do like a spoiler, a non-spoiler, and then a ranking if it's like a franchise type deal. And I'm going to do that for The Crow. And man, it worked because I did it for Alien, and it definitely helped that I saw the movie early. And I think it all kicked off with that out of theater reaction, and freaking right now 21,000 views. That's not normal for me, guys. Okay, I'm not special, but I think maybe I did put a little bit of effort into that because some out of theater reactions you get they're holding up the cheapest camera in front of the theater, lighting's horrible, and they give you like 30 seconds or maybe a minute. I gave you a 3-minute out of theater reaction with some nice lighting and everything, nice audio. I figured, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. All right. So maybe I stand out a little bit, and I think it worked. Right. Somehow the algorithm found it, and then I did the spoiler and the non-spoiler. So yeah, and I was going to say, if any of you just subscribed because of Alien, shout out, let me know. And probably none of you did, okay? Some of you subscribe and then you go about your lives, and that's fine. That's the way it is. But, I got, since, I guess pretty much over the last week, I got like 1,500 subscribers, which blows my freaking mind, because I've been working at this for 9 years, and I don't think I've ever gotten 1,500 subscribers so fast, all right? So... and I'm realistic. I know that's not going to last. I know I'm going to go right back down, and you got your hills and valleys, right? But I will say what I did a stream on Piz's channel, Pizel, and Christian Hanna was on there. Christian Hanna said something that really stuck with me. He said something that really stuck with me, and I got to give him credit on this. He said, because his channel's been doing really well lately. You'll notice, you probably see his shorts. And he said the thing that he has been doing now is, if something is working, step on the fucking gas. That's his words. Step on the fucking gas. If something's working, do it. Keep pushing forward, Ride that freaking sucker out, Make them hate you. Make them get sick of seeing your face. So, and I think it's working for him. His channel's doing really, really great. So... time is always the issue, though. When you got a full-time job, you got a wife, and kids are out of the house. I got my granddaughter Delilah, and I spent every Saturday is Delilah Day. I say that is devoted to Delilah, and when I'm with her, I don't think about YouTube. I don't think about any of that stuff. So today is my YouTube day. So yeah. I have funnies for you guys. We have, I got a lot of news stuff that I kind of cherry picked that I want to go over. Do you guys want to start with funnies? I'll let you pick, because I do have some like topical ideas in the funnies as well. So, and I do got some funnies. All right. So let me know if you want to do if you want to start with the funnies. Okay. We'll start with the funnies. You know what? We'll do it anyway. Fuck it. All right. By the way, luckily, about 2 hours before this, I started setting everything up in OBS, and my chat would not go transparent. And so I had to uninstall and reinstall OBS. And I'm glad I did, though, because now OBS it's a lot smoother. So I do like it. All right, let's go to funnies. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay. I guess we can start off with this. This is the topical one. Yeah. This is called Wasn't Scary. Okay, this was on the Alien, Alien review, and he says, and yeah, this is his appointment. I mean, this is his opinion. I'm not saying he's wrong or anything, but he's saying, instead of exploring new ideas presented, the movie chose to pass over them and focus on callbacks to the earlier films. The production design being similar to the original doesn't make it a good movie. Lots of segments in the script were just stupid. Abandoning the research, Weyland-Yutani abandoning the research station. These kids making it to the station before anyone from Weyland-Yutani stationed on the planet. But this guy's going fucking deep. Going there. Aliens are blind, but they see them holding guns and many more. What? Okay. Let me finish what he's saying, okay? There was no suspense and wasn't scary, and that was my trigger. Looked good, but wasn't good. Worst alien film for me. Worst alien film. Jesus. His opinion, that's fine. Boy, I tell you, he knows his alien stuff, though. I got to give him that, right? Mad props. And I think this is a situation where he might have been a little bit too obsessive, with the details, because this was pretty much a love letter to the franchise, okay? But, it's a sensory type thing. You like what you like. I'm not saying he's wrong, all right? The thing I circled there, though, is wasn't scary. I break, Chappie, I'll get to your super chat here in a sec. Thank you so much. I break different subgenres of horror into either, some subgenres, they're not scary, okay? Alien has never been scary to me. They could go as hard in the paint as they want with the deepest, darkest lighting and the jump scares galore. It just doesn't scare me. That's just me. So that automatically doesn't even factor in, And I've talked about this before with movies being scary and how it can be a factor as to whether a movie is good or not. I think that's all subjective. I think I know when a movie is going to be effectively suspenseful, but it's not going to scare me. I can call it right now. I might be like, "Ooh, shit, that was, oh yeah," but I'm not going to lose sleep. I'm just not going to do it. Okay, you know why? Because I'm a 51-year-old man. All right? I'm a 51-year-old man, and I got a mortgage. All right, I got a mortgage, and that's what scares me. All right, so I don't get scared. Horror movies are entertainment for me, and I love them for so many other reasons than being scared. It's just not me. Okay, so maybe this guy was 12. I don't know. If you're saying that this movie wasn't scary, maybe you're 12, maybe you're 13. I don't know, because that just doesn't do anything for me. Okay, so I said wasn't scary. I did 3 nights in intensive care due to how scary it was. I slipped into a coma and had to be revived. Was quite insane, really. I'm good now though. So yeah, yeah. But you know what? I'll give him credit for all his other critiques. He's one of those guys that nitpicks every single little thing. I think when you start nitpicking everything, you didn't like it. Either you found something that you hated in the beginning and that does happen, and it just sets you up. It sets a baseline, and then you're picking on everything for the rest of the movie, Or you went into the movie wanting to hate it. I think those are the two things. And then some movies, though, they do put some major freaking, like, I'll give you an example. Scream 6, all right? Scream 6, when they did what they did to freaking, God, what was his freaking name now? I the one guy that got stabbed in the chest like 18 times. That was too much for me. I couldn't deal with it. I checked out, I checked out, and I couldn't come back. I could not come back. That was just too much. They're stabbing everybody like freaking at least 3 times each, and nobody's dying. Nobody's like even going to the freaking emergency room. Chad, thank you, Trina. Yeah, and so I get what he's saying. Maybe something triggered him at the beginning of the movie, and then he was just. Have you ever had a movie do that to you? Let me know. Has there ever been a movie that you watched the first 10 minutes, something happened in that movie, and you were just like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. They have ruined my experience already. I can't deal. All right. Let me go to Chappie's super chat. He says, I hate when people just hate on movies, especially remakes, before they release without even seeing the film. But they have death grip over the original or nostalgia that it can be remade, which is just stupid to me. But you definitely hit on that. And that's kind of what I was talking about at the beginning, Chappie. With just negativity and people going into movies and they just want to hate. I don't think I've ever seen a period in time, and this is all because of social media, where it was marketable to hate a movie months before it came out. We're in new ground right now. It's very, very strange to me. Because, back in the freaking 80s, I'm walking down the street at my local theater and I see the Rocky IV poster. I'm like, I love Rocky. I'm going to go see that. But if you would have went in a time machine, went back to 1985 and told me, hey, just so you know, there's going to be a market for just seeing that poster. People are going to make, umpteen videos about how much this movie's gonna suck, and I'll be like, my 13-year-old self will be like, what, really? Like, what are they gonna say? They haven't even seen the movie yet. Oh no, they're just gonna come up with everything imaginable to speculate. It'll all be speculation, right? But yeah, we're living in a new age, man. You just got to ride that train, right? Okay. Next funny. Sorry guys. Sorry. Let's go with something funny. Okay. Guys, did you see the Olympics? The Australian breakdancer. I caught on that train last week. I didn't know anything about it, and I saw the video. And matter of fact, I shared it on my Facebook too, and they were like comparing it to another one of those quick little videos, and it looked like a really old video from like the 80s or something like that. And it was this white girl, and she's talking about hip hop, and it's a lifestyle, and she looked like the last person that should ever be talking about hip hop. So, and it kind of matched up to this video with this Aussie. It was man, I feel bad for her, but how did she get even accepted in the freaking Olympics? You know, that's my question. Like, isn't there like some kind of criteria that they got to meet? You know, kind of like Saturday Night Live. If you want to get on Saturday Night Live, don't you have to try out? Because this looked like somebody like your cousin that just woke up, and she happens to like be in maybe a bed next to the actual stage where they're doing the Olympics, and she woke up and somebody pushed her out and said breakdance, you know, and then she just, because oh my God, it's horrible. She got a 0.0 score. So I feel bad for her, but why would you like? Did all her friends tell her like, wow, you're amazing? You know, or maybe she was amazing and then she just got nervous and she choked, and then I can get that. Sometimes, you know, you're thinking that gold's going to come out and instead shit comes out, right? So that's a bad analogy, but yeah. All right, next one. Oh, this is a topic, okay? And I think you guys are going to find this interesting, all right? Look at this. I just saw, and Jason actually posted this in his Facebook group, but I had to capture this because look at those prices. An 8x10 photo of Mark Hamill is $400. You know, premium $500, and I need my glasses. That last one's $700 for bulky. Yeah, it says bulky. One thing I've been to I'd say I've been to like maybe 4 or 5 conventions. It's all the horror conventions. But one thing I do notice is that every time I go, the prices go up. And I get that. They got to eat. But if the price gets too high, then you start losing your audience. Or maybe you don't. What do I know? You know, sometimes if you get the right celebrity, those things are packed, right? And I'm not saying this is the price for all celebrities, but Mark Hamill? Really? Yeah, he was in the recent Star Wars movies, but still, you know, $400. You know, and taking that aside, you know, I remember like going up to like a certain celebrity, and you're thinking you're going to spend like $20, $30. And before you know it, because you did the selfie and you did the this and that, you're out like freaking $80, $100. You know, and that's just for so I like the last time I went, I don't know if I was being rude or something, but I had them sign a photo. I didn't even want a picture with them. And, you know, they'd kind of give me a look like, oh, like, because everybody else wants a picture with me. I'm like, I'm good. I can look you up on the internet. Boom, there you are. I got the signature. And I do have a lot of signatures in my studio here, but I stopped doing the picture thing just because it's freaking expensive. It's insane. So, and it's kind of discouraging. It like makes me not want to go to freaking conventions anymore. You know, the prices just are getting way out of hand. It's getting stupid, getting real stupid. But, you know, again, I think maybe this is like, is this the golden age of conventions? You know, with Comic-Con and all that stuff. But I feel bad for some, you know, because somebody was nice enough to snap a picture of this. I'd say most of the lines I went into, you know, if it's a long line, you might not know how much you're going to pay. You know, so you're just thinking, I'm probably going to have to pay like $50. And then you get up and then you're standing in front of your God, and it literally says like $200. And so what are you going to do? It's awkward, right? So yeah, that's just insane to me. It's insanity. It's insanity. So yeah. There you go. Gory Tiger, was the picture signed? Well, yeah, I got a signed picture of them, but I didn't take a picture with them. with them. Okay? So, yeah. Shelby says, I would much rather have a genuine interaction with someone I'm a fan of rather than take a picture. You know what, Shelby? I'm so glad you said that, because it sounds like I'm discouraging people to go to conventions. But you can go to conventions and not spend a dime, you know? Now, don't expect to talk to Bruce Campbell or Robert Englund, you know? I mean, you can wait in line and you can have a little like a little 2-minute conversation with them. But what I do is when I go to the conventions, I go on a Sunday, because it seems like Sunday is like the last day of it, and the crowds aren't as bad. And Sunday afternoon, because Sunday afternoon, I swear, every table is empty. There's like, you know, even the tables that are kind of full, they're not really full. So, you could like, I didn't do this, but you could actually, you know, I have done this. I think I went up and talked to like Tom Matthews, you know, just passing by, and he was just sitting there, and nobody's there, and I was like, "Hey, Tom," and I just started talking to him, and it was really, really nice, by the way, because some celebrities they could probably be standoffish if they wanted to be, you know. And do you guys listen to the Talk Scary to Me podcast with Daniel Harris and Scout? They're really nice. Don't get me wrong, but I guess it's kind of like bowling etiquette, right? I've heard them talk about this before in conventions. And they talked about if you come to their table, it's considered very rude if you don't buy anything. If you don't, you know, get a signature. If you come to their table and you just want to shoot the shit and talk to them, that's considered rude. Which, that kind of surprised me. It kind of surprised me because you're paying a price to get in that convention anyway. And you're just wanting to talk to that celebrity, you know, and you might not have any money. And I'm thinking this way. If I was a celebrity at a convention, and especially if it was like, you know, I'm new to the scene or something like that, but if I saw some kid coming up and he had no money, I think as long as I had the time, I would want to talk to him, you know. I'd like to think I wouldn't get to the, you know, because some of these celebrities, oh my God, they've been doing this for 40 years. So maybe 40 years down the road, maybe it's a different experience for them. They just want to freaking, you know, cash that check and get out. You know, I don't know. I think I would like, as long as it's not like taking up all my time, I wouldn't mind, you know, talking to somebody for a few minutes, right? It wouldn't bother me, you know. You know, as long as they're not coming back over and over and over, then it's okay, now it's getting kind of weird. But yeah, so let's go to the next one. I think this one's another troll comment, the DD hate train. Oh, Chris Stutman gets a shout out too. Chris Stutman said it's a good movie, and his reviews are always spot on. So I'm gonna take his word for it. Good, go for it. Take his word for it. You seem like a moviegoer who just enjoys complaining and riding hate trains. Well, guys, isn't it funny? We were just talking about that. Definitely won't be subscribing. Okay. It's so weird when you do a high-profile movie and you'll get, let's just say 90% of the people that comment on that video are not like subscribers of yours, right? But it's so funny to me how people, and maybe it's just this day and age and people automatically assume the worst, but just because I didn't like this movie and you like this movie, he automatically assumes that I just hate everything. Which, I mean, it takes you 5 minutes to look at my list of reviews, and you could see, or even look at my letterbox, and you can see that I've actually liked most of the movies. Most of the movies I've seen this year. My list of movies that I didn't like is probably, if I'm being generous, maybe 20%, 25%. You know, just because I don't get a chance to see everything. And if something's like, if I think it's really bad, or, you know, I'll even be honest, if the production quality is just really, really low, then I'm not gonna bother with it anyway. You know, I just don't have the time. So that's why most of my the movies that I've seen I've liked. But you get comments like comments from idiots like that from time to time. It's funny. It's really funny. Okay, this one's called Deck Pick. Oh, sorry for the unsolicited deck pick. This was for someone else. That is a sexy deck. 10 out of 10 would sit on it. Trim the bushes so it looks bigger. Now, don't have a dirty mind on that one, okay? Okay. Next one, and to set this one up for you, do you guys love those like 70s album covers, right? The records that you see. Like, if you want to have some fun, go to a record store that has like used records and look through the clearance, because the clearance ones are usually 70s records, and you can find some gems in there. But here's like, you'll see stuff like this. Here we go. Hold on. Like that right there. Gary getting down to business, So it just goes to show that anybody could have a music career. It won't last that long, but you could still get a record made, right? Gary did. Getting down to business. And look at that freaking sexy son of a bitch. Hey Logan, how are you doing? Who are these sick people? Mary Swanson, Dumb and Dumber. Gary looks like he's in a good mood. I wish I could be in half of a good mood as Gary is, right? Gary's ready to fucking party. He wants to party all night and party every day, okay? And rock and roll both too, okay? There you go. Yeah, you get some, Gary. That record went wood. Okay, there you go. All right, next one. This is called Ghost Macho Man. Ghost Macho Man. Okay, Rob Zombie looks like the ghost of Macho Man Randy Savage. It's true, and that's why it's hilarious, because he does. He really does look like. You can almost, like, you can hear that picture. You can, yeah, boy. He even sounds like Macho Man when he sings. All right. Nick Matteo, he says, Gary looks like he's ready to get down to business in the adult film industry. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Dragula. How would Macho Man say Dragula? Dragula. I don't know. Something like that. Got another Hawk Tua. Guys, can you give me the official date when Hawk Tua is going to be officially, like, not like popular anymore? Because that 15 minutes, it's going to be up soon. That 15 minutes, it's going to be up soon. But according to this meme, maybe not. And this is like a pain meme, right? We can all feel this. Me knowing I have to work another 30 years while some idiot is set for life for saying Hawk Tua, right? I'm not calling her an idiot. That's what the meme says. She seems like a very lovely young girl. She seems very nice. And I've seen some of her little interviews and whatnot. So I'm not calling her an idiot. Hey, she was just being genuine. We took it and ran. We ran with it, is what we did. So it's crazy how some shit blows up, isn't it, guys? It is weird how, and you can never predict it. Like if the day before somebody came up to you and said, do you know what the next big thing is? Do you know what's gonna like blow up? This girl is literally going to say, Hawk Tua, spit on that thing. And everybody's going to lose their minds. They're going to think it's the greatest thing ever, So maybe it helps that she's attractive. I don't know. Okay. Next one. Guys, tell me if I did this one before. It's funny, though, so why not? We'll do it again. Injured? Go fuck yourself, you injured piece of shit. Man, I tell you, if you were driving down the street and you're looking for an attorney, if you saw that, would you hire that guy? Okay, that's a drive-by funny. All right. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. Don't argue with people on social media. Every classroom had a kid that ate paste. That's probably who you're arguing with. There's a good chance of it. The people that like argue for no good reason whatsoever, they ate paste. I think that's pretty much what it is. Next one. Did you hear they're going to reissue Dynasty? I can't get through without doing some kind of Kiss talk because I'm such a Kiss fan, but that just doesn't have the same ring, right? It's missing something. And if I had my Dynasty album in front of me, I would show you the difference, okay? But yeah, Age is a bitch. Age is a bitch. Bottom right, Eric Singer. Got to give him credit, though. Eric Singer is a much better drummer, different style, than Peter Criss. Okay, so is Eric Carr. But Eric Singer should not be wearing Peter Criss's makeup. Right? That's a no-go. He should not be wearing Peter Criss's makeup. But Eric Singer, I'm a fan. I like Eric Singer. He was a hired gun before Kiss, and he played with Badlands. He was in this band called Badlands, which has one of the greatest, freaking, most underrated debut albums I've ever heard from like 1989. Eric Singer was in that band. He played drums on it. He's a killer drummer, but now he's stuck playing. Well, Kiss is done now, but yeah, he was pretty much just, easy drumming is what you would call it, right? Easy work. So, yeah. Now, speaking of Kiss, since we're talking about Kiss, I just bought this. That's my hand. That is Kiss Confidential and Extreme Close-Up. When I first came in the military, this was in the early 90s, 92, and I think this was around 93 that this came out. And the Revenge album had just come out, and I think this was Kiss getting heavier. Maybe it was because of the music scene at the time. But it was a really great album, too. Revenge is a really, really good album. And right after that, to promote that, they put out this, the VHS looked like this. Okay. That's not mine. I had that. I don't know what happened to it, but I wore that freaking VHS out. And it was pretty much a documentary up to the early 90s. And man, I watched that thing so many times just because I was into Kiss. I'm still into Kiss, but I think this was my favorite. Looking back on it all now, this was my favorite era of Kiss because they were heavier. And this is when Eric Singer was with the band, when he didn't have makeup, And then they didn't fire, but they let Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick go in 96 because they got back with Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, and they put back on the makeup. We all know the story, and the rest is history. And then Peter Criss and Ace Frehley acted up again, and then they got fired, and then they had these two new musicians. Okay, and I can't blame them. You got to get a paycheck, right? But yeah, to me, this was like the time of Kiss that I loved the most. Looking back on it, back then I was like, man, if they ever put on the makeup, that'd be the greatest thing ever. And it was. I saw them, all 4 original members in makeup in '99, and it was just one of the greatest memories of my life. It really is. But this, I saw them on this tour, on the Revenge tour. And it was equally as impressive. It was like 2 different concerts because they're playing the heavier stuff when they didn't have the makeup on, So, yeah. But, yeah, they released this, and then I wanted to get it again. There's like a version of it, but you don't get the whole thing on YouTube. And you get really shitty quality. So I like to have the physical media, the DVD, and you get the best quality that you can. So, yeah. So, anyway, next one. They found they found a picture of Moses. All right, this is what Moses looked like. This was recent. It's a new discovery. This is big. All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna drop a bomb on you right now. They finally found out what Moses looked like. All right, here you go. Boom. I never knew. Scientists at Exeter University have reconstructed this 3D model of how Moses might have looked. There you go. And the word is that he always said brother. These jokes are free, people. Okay? All right. Yeah. Who would have thunk it? Hulk Hogan looked just like Moses. It's insane. Jesse says, Debbie Gibson was hotter than Tiffany. You all know it. Yeah, I guess that was one of those things back then. It's like the Ginger Marianne type deal. Half your audience. Like what do you guys think? Who was hotter? Was it Debbie Gibson or was it Tiffany? All right. I was more of a Debbie Gibson guy, if I'm being honest. I was all about the Gibson. Okay? But that's just me. All right. The New Avengers. They just released a poster for the New Avengers. Here we go. This is what it looks like. Okay? I'm just a dude playing another dude playing another dude. I'd watch it. I'm not going to lie. I mean, they're getting pretty crazy right now with Deadpool and Wolverine. Who knows where the MCU is going to go at this point, right? Fuck it. Let's ride. I mean, because Robert Downey Jr., he's playing Dr. Doom. So, which I don't have a problem with that, actually, because, I mean, he's not the first actor to play two different characters in the in Marvel, right? You've had Chris Hemsworth, or not Hemsworth. Chris Evans has played two different characters, okay? And there's a couple more. And hell, I was watching Kick-Ass last night, and that guy, he's playing his third one now, right? Kraven, the Hunter? Yeah, so he's played Kraven, he's played Quicksilver, and he's played Kick-Ass. And we're getting mad about Robert Downey Jr., a national treasure at this point, playing a second character. It doesn't bother me, as long as the movie's good, okay? All right. Here we go, guys. Time to get you guys involved, okay? All right. What do you think? And I have my answer, but man, it was tough coming to this answer because I think both movies have their pros and cons over each other, right? Because Alien Romulus is more of a greatest hits. Oh, here we go. Fuck Ginger and Marianne. Mrs. Howe had millions of dollars. There you go. Now you're talking, Chris. Chris is of a certain age, so he knows what's up. But yeah, Alien. What do you guys think? Which one's better? All right, and I would wager that this one's like a 50-50 type deal. Okay, can I do it? Let me see if I can do a poll. Hold on. Can I do a poll? Yeah, here we go. Start a poll. Okay. Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. There we go. All right, there you go. What do you got? Let's see. I'm guessing it's going to be mid. It's going to be 50-50 just because of the opinions on Romulus. I think Romulus is pretty divisive. It's a love-hate type movie at this point. So right now we're sitting at 50. Going once, going twice. Let's see. It's literally at 50 still. That's insane. Alien Romulus, 53. And it was Prey. So it's bouncing back and forth. While you guys are voting, I think Prey has the better original story. You know, Prey's not like a greatest hits type movie. Alien Romulus, and I'm not going to spoil anything just yet. I'll tell you when, because there's a section here where we're going to talk some spoilers. Some of you might want to sit on, but don't worry, I'll tell you when, okay? Alien Romulus is definitely more of a, it's honoring a lot of the movies of the franchise. But it's done well. I think that's where it's, because you could go that route and you could fall on your face. Alien Romulus doesn't. It is a fun-ass ride. And it takes, it's very smart about how it honors the past. It's not like an easy nod, right? A lazy nod. It's not like that at all. Everything is well thought out, beautifully directed. So my answer would definitely be Alien Romulus, but I love Prey. Prey surprised the hell out of me. And I'll even say Amber Midthunder, the lead actress for Prey, is better than Kaylee Spaney, I think. But she's just really great. And I loved Kaylee Spaney, but Amber Midthunder is really amazing. Mad Blood, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been I tell you, it's work. It's constant work. But I'm definitely blessed to have you guys. So if I click on this, will it give me how many of you guys voted? Let me see. Hold on. So 25 votes, and it's pretty much 48-52. Okay? So, yeah. Chappie, he says, F to haters, I want a new Alien vs. Predator movie. ASAP! He wants it right now. And the closest good AVP movie was Require, and I like I like require, and why did so many people hate it so much? It improved over the first. Oh, he's talking about Requiem. Yeah, I prefer Requiem, actually. I think Requiem is a lot more fun, honestly. A lot more fun. So, yeah, no, I agree. Now, I don't... Right now, after Alien Romulus has come out, do I want an AVP movie? No, I don't. Not at all. Stay far away right now, because we have momentum. And we're going to get into the news here in just a sec with that. But yeah, we got some strong momentum, and I would not doubt if another Alien movie gets greenlit, and they're probably going to be begging Fetty. Here's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Let's see if I'm right. Rodo, Fetty's writing partner, who directed Don't Breathe 2, I bet he'll direct the next Alien movie. I'm calling it right now. Okay? If they want to make another one, I'm thinking Rodo would do it. You know? And Fetty would be a producer on it, because they work together. Rodo helped write the script. Fetty will write the script for the next Alien movie. Okay? And he did leave it open for some new ideas going forward. And, you know, thinking like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Rob Zombie, the first movie was more of a remake, whereas the second movie, he got to do his own thing. So I would be really curious if Fetty made a movie, and doing his own thing, telling a completely original Alien story. I love Alien Romulus, don't get me wrong, but I would definitely welcome that for sure. Okay. Let's see. I'm almost done with the funnies. Okay. Update. Ricky is 53 now and 35 years into his life sentence. Do any of you not get that? Okay. Tell me what song and video that's from. All right. And they give you a hint. Avery does there at the top too. So life's been tough for Ricky. It's been real tough. Poor guy. Get Deadpool and Wolverine in space there. Yeah, because they're, Disney, everybody's shitting on Disney, or they're wanting Disney to fail miserably, but right now they are freaking killing it. They've had, I think, at least 3 properties go gangbusters, and they own Alien, and it was a great movie. So, I don't wish harm on any, unless they're like a freaking bunch of assholes or something like that, but isn't everybody in Hollywood assholes, though? So they kind of cancel each other out? I don't know. Skid Row. Yeah, there you go. Skid Row. Let's be honest. Did I do this one last time? Yeah, because we did the Long Legs stream. Okay, so let's get back to where we once belong. All right, so, yeah. Rick Springfield. Is that Rick Springfield? Where, Dan? Where? No, it wasn't Rick Springfield. Let me see which one you were talking about. Hold on. No, I know what you're talking about, Ricky. No, Dan, there's a band called Skid Row, and they had a video for a song called 18 in Life. And in that video, that guy was in there. This is some hired actor. He does look kind of like Rick Springfield, though, doesn't he? A little bit. Okay. All right, so let's go to the news. Because I got a few things I need to talk about. Okay. We'll start with this. Alien Romulus ends Deadpool and Wolverine's 3-week box office reign with 41.5 million debut. And again, Disney beat Disney. That's what we're looking at right now. Okay, so Disney, they always bounce back. You want them to freaking die a painful, slow death, but they always bounce back, right? And that's what Disney's doing. My sister-in-law, she's been invested in Disney for probably 20 years now. And it's like Wolf of Wall Street. It's a woozy, it's a wazi. Her stock, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And that's what it does. Looking back through history, they've had flops, but then they always bounce back, right? I don't think Disney's ever going to die a slow, painful death. I don't think I think they're always going to bounce back. And it sounds like I'm Team Disney. I'm not. I'm just speaking the facts. That's human nature. It just happens. That's how the business goes, okay? It's business nature, damn it. All right. Alien Romulus ends Deadpool and Wolverine's 3-week box office reign with 41.5 million And I can tell you right now, I read up, it made 108 worldwide already. So that is, now I don't think it has the record for the franchise for opening weekend. I think that's still Prometheus, but let's read a little bit of this. Alien Romulus ripped into the domestic box office with 41.5 million, marking the second highest start in the long-running Alien franchise. Those ticket sales were enough for the newest chapter in Disney and 20th century's sci-fi horror saga to end the 3-week reign of Deadpool and Wolverine, which just overtook Joker as the highest grossing R-rated movie in history with 1.14 billion. Insane. Man, Deadpool and Wolverine, it was like the feel-good movie of the year, right? We all had a blast. These achievements are capping off Disney's stellar summer streak, which ignited with Kingdom of Planet of the Apes, May's highest grossing movie, and continued through Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine. The studio earlier this month became the first of 2024 to surpass 3 billion in worldwide ticket sales and should continue to pad that total with Moana 2 and Mufasa, the Lion King. I don't think we need another Lion King movie, but what do I know? Okay. You know why they keep making these movies, guys? Because we keep having kids. That's why, right? These Lion King, these remakes of the animated movies. Yeah, it's because we keep having kids, right? Alien Romulus collected 66.7 million at the international box office for a. There's Nikki Glazer. For a global start of 108 million, the R-rated movie has been well received by critics and holds a 82% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't think I need to read any more. Let's go back over here. But I tell you, man, this is a 45-year-old franchise, right? Is that right? Because the first one came out in 79. So yeah, 45 years the Alien franchise has been going. And let's recap. You got Alien, big hit. Aliens, big hit. Alien 3, kind of a flop. Alien Resurrection, kind of a flop. But then they come back with the AVP movies, and I believe the first one was actually a hit, AVP. And then I think it came back with Prometheus. Prometheus was a big hit. Matter of fact, Prometheus holds the record for the highest opening weekend. Now, if you put inflation in there, if you factor that in, then it's probably going to be one of the first two movies. But yeah, man, it's there are some franchises that they start strong, and they can make so many of them, and then they just kind of slowly taper down, right? Alien is one of those weird franchises that it'll have a movie that's a big hit, and then the next movie can be not so big, and then they'll wait like a few years, 7 years, 8 years, something like that, and then they'll come back strong, because it's like, I think the Alien franchise, it constantly finds new audiences. I think that's what it is. The Xenomorph still to this day is one of the most unique creatures in cinema. And there's just so many different qualities about the Xenomorph. It is really freaky looking because of Giger, but also there are like sexual undertones to it, and they've stated this in like documentaries. It's a creature to be studied, okay? And I think it's smart when you don't see too much of the Xenomorph, and that's one of the comments, the complaints that I saw about Alien Romulus, but this is nothing new. I think a lot of the movies, they keep the Xenomorphs in the shadows. You don't see them as much. And I think if you saw too much of the Xeno, it would kind of take something away. And again, not spoiling anything, but I'll just say when they finally did show the Xeno in Alien Romulus, oh my God, I was like literally, I was getting vocal, all right? I was like, oh my God, here we go. And it looked amazing. That might have been the coolest looking Xeno ever filmed. Fede Alvarez, man, he just has a way of framing a scene, just right. And it looked amazing. It looked amazing. So I was fist pumping. It was awesome. And that's because I had to wait a good long while. They didn't break open the movie with a Xeno, right? So yeah. So let's go to the next story. I got a couple of Alien Romulus stories here. So let me close that one. Oh, we're not going to talk about. Hold on. Don't look. Don't look. Let's see. Let's talk about this one, okay? Because this isn't spoiler stuff, all right? Fede Alvarez explains why Alien Romulus was originally going direct to Hulu, okay? And I've always been curious about this, all right? All right? Why? Because originally, if you remember, this movie was going to Hulu. It just because they did that with Prey, and I think that's probably the reason. But I think I'm going to guess right now, okay? And I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But I'm thinking maybe the success of Prey, you know, it was pretty well received, that maybe they thought, hey, let's try, we're doing an Alien movie now. Let's try putting it in the theater. All right, so that's my guess. Let's see. I'm probably way off, but let's read. Okay. The first film in the Predator franchise in the wake of Disney taking over 20th Century Fox, Prey went direct to Hulu back in 2022, but the Alien franchise's first film under the Disney umbrella is getting a big theatrical release this weekend. But that wasn't always the case. As you may recall, Alien Romulus was originally announced as a Hulu movie, and director Fede Alvarez explains what changed and when it changed in a new chat with Variety. It was because in 2021 that Alien Romulus was planning a Hulu debut, which Alvarez says was a reaction to theaters being completely gone at the time, deep in the heart of the pandemic. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That decision was not made at the point where theaters were healthy. Alvarez explains to Variety, but it was always going to be an ambitious movie for a streaming platform. Now that makes more sense than what I said. He continues, I remember making an announcement to everybody that this movie was going to theaters, and there was a big cheer. I was like, wow, even the gaffer cares what that this goes to into theaters. The pivot to theatrical for Alien Romulus looks to have been a smart one on the part of 20th Century Studios, as the film opened to 6.5 million on Thursday night previews last night. So yeah, I don't think I need to read any more of that either. I didn't even have there was the news story, but I didn't have it up. If I clip this out, I'll put it over there. Okay, I'll get to editing with it. All right. So yeah. So I thought it might have had something to do with the reception of Prey, but I guess not. You know, it's an exciting time for an Alien fan, though, right, guys? I don't know what else I could say. Okay, I'll tell you what. Now, this next section, because I want to keep everything Alien together, this next story is going to involve spoilers. All right, so I'm going to give you a warning right now before I click over. All right, so, and I'm glad you guys didn't see what I clicked over on before. So I got lucky. You know, that was a happy accident. So I'm gonna give you. I'll give you like 15 seconds. All right, 15. I'm gonna take a drink and then I'm gonna click over. All right. So if you don't want to know, then you might want to get out of here. Okay? I'd say get out of here for like maybe 10 minutes if you want to come back. All right, or maybe you got to go make spaghetti or something like that. Some of you like spoilers. You don't care about spoilers, right? And I would say, no, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to like try to entice you to look at it and then there's a spoiler in there that you're like, oh, I didn't want to know that. So, if you don't want to know anything, then yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to click over, all right? Now I'm going to click over. All right, let me go to the story and we can close that. And here we go. Okay, here we go. All right. Alien Romulus endings connection to Resurrection and Prometheus engineers addressed by director. Now I want to know, did any of you stay that didn't care to know spoilers, that haven't seen the movie? Because like my daughter, she doesn't care. I can tell her every beat of a movie and she'll still go see it and enjoy it. Whereas I'm the other way. Me and my son, oh my God, we hate freaking spoilers, okay? Take a shot every time I take a drink. You're going to get drunk. Okay. All right, here we go. Yeah, Jason, I'm glad we can talk a little spoilers because this is, yeah, that That damn final monster. I'm going to tell you right now, man, I was freaking shocked that this movie acknowledged Prometheus and Covenant. You know, that Ridley Scott. And sure, I wonder if Ridley Scott had some influence there, or maybe Fetty wanted to just, he's like, hey, it's all part of the pie. I want to honor all of it. And to me, Prometheus and Covenant, they're great movies, okay? I know a lot of people don't like them. They're not alien movies. They're in that world, they're in that universe, but the second I heard about Prometheus, when it was announced, when I saw that trailer, which, by the way, the Prometheus trailer, the first trailer for Prometheus, is one of the greatest movie trailers I've ever seen in my entire life. It was amazing. It felt like I got a high that I would get from a movie. You know, that's how great that first trailer for Prometheus was, you know. But there's so much in that alien world, especially in that first movie, that begs question. And especially with the space jockey and all that stuff. And I was like, man, I'd love to have a side movie about all that stuff. And we got it. And it's very well directed, and they're beautiful, and they both look like they're freaking $100 million movies. But it's weird. It's weird for some people, you know? But I'm such an alien fanatic that I love the whole thing. I love the world, you know? Give it all to me. So I'm excited to find this out, though. Connection to Resurrection and Prometheus Engineer addressed. Here we go. I'm excited. Okay. Though initially presented as a back-to-basics story for the franchise, director Fede Alvarez breaks down Alien Romulus' surprise connections to Resurrection, which I was shocked they connected to Resurrection, and Prometheus. And there were a couple of callbacks to Resurrection in the movie, like the scene with the facehuggers in the red room. I call it the red room with the water. That was very similar to one of the scenes in Resurrection where they're in the water. So, yeah. Co-written by Alvarez and frequent collaborator Rodo Sayagüez. Romulus is situated between the first two movies in the franchise, with the central characters going to a deserted space station whose scientists has recovered the remains of the xenomorph from the USS Nostromo in the original film. This in turn leads to the whole host of new facehuggers and xenomorphs being born and hunted down the Alien Romulus cast of characters. During a recent... Here we go. Let's read what he said. Okay. During a recent interview with Variety in honor of the movie's release, Alvarez offered some insight into Alien Romulus' connections to prior installments of the franchise, while humorously admitting that the Alien Resurrection parallels of a human xenomorph hybrid didn't come to him until his son pointed it out at the premiere. He didn't explain that the connection to Prometheus's engineers was a conscious decision in order to bridge the gap between the prequels and the originals, hence the hybrid birth. See what Alvarez explained below. My son had recently watched with a buddy of his all of the Alien movies, and when The Offspring comes out, he goes, it's like in Resurrection. I hadn't really processed that way, but it's true. It's this abomination that comes out. I was more focused on the mythology of Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I was hoping that people picked up the whole engineer part of it. The black goo is the root of the whole thing. I've always been fascinated by the lore of Prometheus and Covenant and the black goo and all that stuff. You know, digging deeper into what eventually becomes the xenomorph. But anyway, I'm reading on. The black goo is the root of the whole thing that was introduced in Prometheus. It's the root of all life. But also, particularly, the xenomorphs come out of that thing, which means it has to be inside them. It's the xenomorph semen, almost. So we thought if it affects your DNA, and the engineers clearly come out of the same root of life, it made sense, complete sense to me that the offspring of a human and a xenomorph was going to look like that. But boy, did it look like that engineer. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it. So that's the answer. But I tell you, the very first thing I thought about when that damn thing came out at the end was Alien Resurrection. It was like a hybrid of Alien Resurrection, because The thing I hate about Resurrection is that human alien, you know? And I think it's just all in the execution and how it's presented. And it's crying. And aliens should not cry. They should be menacing and evil. I don't need a xenomorph in the final showdown of an alien movie. No, not at all. But I don't want the newborn to be crying. You know, it was definitely freaky looking. I think it looked too weird, you know. Whereas the engineer Xeno, that was just full on a monster. You know, it wasn't it wasn't like the offspring that loved its mother. It wasn't crying, you know. It wanted to freaking kill, right? And so I think that's what made it work. I really loved the ending. And also, here's my thing too. If we didn't get the engineer Xeno, then what do we got? We got just another showdown between the xenomorph, the regular xenomorph, and the final girl. We get that every single time anyway. So do we want that again? You know? I just don't think... I wanted them to go wild. Because this is a universe that could go wild with all the freaking DNA swapping and sharing and crazy shit going on because of Prometheus and Covenant. I didn't think he would have the balls to throw that world into this world. You know? I thought for sure it was going to be a straight up homage to just Alien, right? Because that's what everybody wants. They didn't really care for Prometheus and Covenant. They wanted to get back to the basics, right? And Fetty had something up his sleeve. He says, no, I want to honor that. And I think that made for a better movie. Right? And yeah, there are callbacks to all the other movies, but there's still a story and there's still a progression in Romulus, right? And if you didn't have that progression, then there's nowhere to go further. Like if they want to make another story. But because they did what they did, there's room to grow. They could actually make a sequel bridging Romulus to Aliens. There's probably still... Because remember, Aliens is 57 years from Alien. So, I mean, we're probably... It doesn't exactly... Well, I think it does say the year. But I think it's probably like 10, 20 years from the first Alien. So, yeah. So... I love it. I think it was genius that he did that. I'm going to see the movie again on Tuesday. I can't wait. All right. Let's go to the next story. You know what? I think I'm just going to... Because I want to talk about The Crow real quick. All right. And I don't have anything pulled up story-wise for it. But I do have like I guess a concern. I get press screenings, or I get screeners. I go to press screenings. Okay, and this isn't about me bitching about why don't I have a press screening for I've been to many a Thursday night showing because there wasn't a critics invite. I'm fine with that. I got no problem with that at all. I'm probably going to see The Crow on Thursday night, and I'm not bitching that I can't see it earlier. This isn't that at all. What I'm stating is, it's kind of weird that there's no like buzz around this movie. I've sent some emails out to some of my contacts and nothing. Nobody knows nothing as far as like any kind of press invite, press screening. Now sometimes they can spring these press screenings on us on the day of. It's happened before. I might check my email tomorrow and boom, you're going to The Crow tomorrow night. It could happen. But at this point, I doubt it, because most times you get the email the week before release, right? What's up, Ozzy? How you doing? Most of the time, you get the email the week before release. So I have a big feeling I'm not going to be seeing an early screening of The Crow, and again, I'm fine with that. I got no problem with that. Okay. And I'm going to go into the movie with an open mind. I'm a fan of the Crow. I love the first two movies. All right. The trailer does not have me jazzed at all. But again, I'm going into this movie as a Crow fan, hopeful. Okay. I'm not going into this movie wanting to hate it. Not at all. And, I've seen a couple of like YouTubers that they've put out like 3 or 4 videos they want this movie to bomb so bad. And I think some people, maybe they're just Brandon fans. And I mean, guys, Brandon is the one celebrity death that really hit me. I can explain it, but it just did. It hit me just because of how young he was, how much promise he had, how great he played Eric Draven, and it hit me. So nobody will ever take the place of Brandon in any Crow movie. It's not going to happen. But that doesn't mean you still can't have a good movie, you know? So I'm hopeful going into this. I think the director, he's got a nice visual style. So, but what I saw in the trailer, yeah, I think it's good that they're going for something different, but would it have hurt to put in a little bit of a gothic vibe to it, you know, because I think The Crow is known for that gothic vibe. Yeah. I think you can play around with that story and get creative and still have a gothic vibe, and it's only going to help. It's only going to help your property. But when you take that out of it, then you're kind of like, is it even a Crow movie? Yeah, in a sense that he comes back from the grave. Yeah, that's about it. But the original Crow is more about a visual tone, right? It's not just a revenge story. It's something that as soon as you see like a certain scene in the movie, you're like, oh yeah, this is the Crow, right? The first movie, like immediately you know, okay, this is the Crow. So, yeah, Brandon Lee would have made a great Neo. I've heard discussion about that actually quite a bit about, you know, it would have been cool to see Brandon Lee as Neo, but you know, Keanu did a great job. So I don't take anything away from Keanu. I think he was like, I think Keanu was the perfect Neo, but man, Brandon would have been right up there for sure. So yeah, I mean, this is a short little segment, but you know, next week is The Crow. And I'm not going to lie, I am excited. As a Crow fan, I'm really excited. This is there's only like, I'd say there's only 2 or 3 movies that when we sit down in that chair, before we even see a single frame, we're excited, right? Do you guys agree with that? Or there are certain, like a few like Halloween. When they make a new Halloween movie, man, I'm like, I got the jitters. I'm shaking. I'm so excited. So because I'm such a Crow fan, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be excited. Okay. I got nowhere to go but down, and that could be a problem. So we shall see. I'm really looking forward to it, though. And you guys, I'm hoping and praying, because I'm going to give you an out-of-theater reaction. Then I'm going to give you a full review. Actually, I'm seeing this on that Thursday. I might just come out the gate with the review, but I'm hoping and praying that I come out of there saying, guys, this movie was actually quite awesome. You know? Wouldn't that be great? And, it could happen. We'll see. Bill Skarsgård is a really good actor. So, yeah, I'm wishing him and the crew all the best. All right? So, yeah. All right, let's see what else we got. I'm going to have to close it up here in a minute. Maybe I should save these stories. I got like you know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to save these stories because I got nothing crazy here. The last thing I'll talk about, and I don't need to like open up a news window or anything. But there was this thing on Twitter. You know, there's these sites, and all they do is talk about Scream, and they make up stories, and speculation and all this stuff. And there was this story about Melissa Barrera that she's like having secret meetings, and she's possibly going to come back in this next movie. But couple things. Neve Campbell recently stated that the entire plan of this next movie is it's going to be a Sidney Prescott movie coming back. Does that mean that you can't have Sam in there? No, you should, but I think it would be kind of weird to have your main character be Sidney and then Sam like pops in the movie. Like, what do you do with that? You know, and everybody's going to be like, wait, what? Wasn't she like fired? I think she should have been fired, by the way. I'm team Melissa Barrera, don't get me wrong. But the reason I'm not making this because of the movie itself. I'm making this little clip because I get so sick of scrolling Twitter and just everybody making up stories willy-nilly. And then you can make up stories all day, but then people, they believe them because I think there's a thing like we want to believe certain stories, right? If we're really invested in a property and somebody states that, like say somebody said Kane Hodder's coming back to play, and I'm just being hypothetical here. Nobody said this, but somebody like, I'm thinking I want Kane Hodder to come back and play Jason, or even hell, Robert Englund coming back. I could literally just think that and put it right there on the freaking Twitter box. I could put it on Twitter, and sure enough, and let's just assume that I like don't have a channel and I'm nobody or whatever. That could catch some steam. It could get retweets, or reposts or whatever. And then the next thing you know, it's got 2,000 reposts, and oh boom, it's official now, right? That's the mentality on X, and it does annoy the living shit out of me because sometimes it seems like it can almost find its way to the major news organizations, because they have to step in and say, there's no truth to this, because that's happened before. And it's like cart before the horse. The first news coming out should be from the major news sources, right? It's just so annoying when they do this shit, because if Jenna or if Melissa Barrera was coming back, I think there would be a lot of. I honestly think that would be a big deal, right? It'd be a super big deal, and maybe she is coming back. Maybe I'm wrong anyway. Maybe somebody knows something I don't know. Okay, but what I've noticed, like 9 times out of 10, when they come up with these stories over on X, they never pan out. It never happens. All right, that's what I've noticed, and it's probably 99 out of 100. Okay, it never happens. Okay. And they were doing this shit with freaking Halloween Ends when it came out. They were trying to say that there was going to be like a Hobo Myers, and he was going to be wearing a Hobo Myers getup. And I did a clip on that, debunking it immediately. Just because of the source, where it comes from, and how serious people... But then you have YouTube channels making videos stating that, oh no, I know, I got an inside source, and this is definitely happening. And it just makes them look stupid when it doesn't happen, right? That's why you won't see me doing that shit. If I report on anything stating that, unless I say it's a rumor, it's a heavy rumor that's got some weight behind it. Because usually if it's not a heavy rumor, I'm not even going to entertain it. Okay, I'm going to do what I'm doing now and debunk it. So, do I want Melissa Barrera to come back? Sure, absolutely. I like Sam as a character. She was the best thing about those 2 last movies, her and Jenna Ortega. So. But I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. So, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end it for tonight, guys. This was really fun, though, hanging out with you guys. Missed you. It was so nice seeing you guys. And if you haven't seen Alien Romulus, I highly recommend going to see it. It's a highly rewatchable movie. I'm going to see it again on Tuesday night. All right, I can't wait. So, unless I got a Crow screening that just suddenly pops in on Tuesday night, but yeah, I think I'm going to go see it. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, love you.